The great Elvis Costello. That's one of my favourite tracks and one of my favourite albums. It's the second album. Michael Richards is with us, ladies and gentlemen. He's currently appearing in Arsenic and Old Lace. That's at the Strand Theatre in London. You will know him best, of course, for his television appearances as Kramer in the hugely popular Seinfeld show. Michael, thank you for coming in.
Well, hello there.
How are you?
How am I? The biggest question that a human being could be asked.
No, I wasn't asking about your metaphysical state of being. I mean, the health-wise, just are you okay? You're feeling good?
We're going there, too.
Yeah, well, you know, it's cold outside. It's getting cold.
I've got a coat on. I haven't even taken it off.
Well,
I just walked in.
Just relax.
Nice to be here.
Are you looking good?
Thank you.
You're a handsome man.
Oh,
You've got a big face, but you're very you can carry it.
Wait, what's your hand on my knee for?
He's a good-looking man. Look at him.
Hey, well, hey.
And your hair is exceptional.
It's short for the part.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Nothing wrong with me.
Don't believe those people who say this. Let's start
There's
again.
no night in my life.
I feel that we've got off. We've already hit the ground running too fast here. Let's slow it down. I'm going to take us back a step. You're over here, you're doing Arsenic and Old Lace at the...
Yes, indeed,
Now, did you come over here hoping to do that, knowing you were doing that, or were you over anyway and then the opportunity came?
No, it came my way while I was living in Los Angeles, and I wanted to do the play, so here I am.
Actually, there's quite a lot of theatre that goes on in Los Angeles. People think of it as a movie town, of course. So
not too much, but there is some theatre there at the Mark Taper Forum and the Amundsen,
But we find a lot of Americans come over here to do it. And
they do.
And you're welcome. We like seeing you over here. It's a nice way, it's a safe way of seeing Americans, I feel.
A safe way.
You know, well, we
We're
like
all
to see you.
Together.
Yeah, we see you on stage. You're close enough. We hear the accent, and then we go. You went to our life briefly, and we can leave when we want.
Okay.
That's a control. You know, it's like a controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? And yet,
as if the English don't have their own shadow.
Well, but we like it. It's nice to see you. And for you guys, it seems to me that you really enjoy performing.
Oh gosh, yes. Well, this is what I'm all about. I'm an actor.
Did you do theatre work before the TV? Presumably you did.
Some theatre, yes. I started out doing theatre, but then, of course, I got caught up in television for about 25 years there.
It's a long old stint, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long run.
But were you doing comedy beforehand as well, or was it mainly straight theatre?
No, I was doing just straight theatre, but then I started doing some comedy at the local comedy clubs in Los Angeles, and within a number of months I ended up on a television show, and that's how the road began.
But I can imagine you, because the comedy seems to come so naturally to you.
Yeah, it's in my bone. I was always a class clown, or always making my friends laugh and goofing around and that sort of thing, yeah.
And so now, obviously, Arsenic and Old Lace is a comedy play. It's a humorous play. But do you do straighten-out dramatic stuff? Have you done
yeah, there's great villainy in this show, so it's a balance between the serious and the comedy, you know.
I've never seen it on stage. I've seen the film, of course. I think most people have seen the film.
Yeah. The stage show was written, really developed for Boris Karloff, so you can imagine if our audience knows who he was. He was a great heavy playing monsters and horror figures, and of course in 1942 he was a terror to be seen live on stage, so they developed a part for him, and he played that quality of darkness, and that's what was so interesting about the show, because it is a comedy, but he brings a dark counterpoint to it. This is a dark comedy, so there you have it.
There's a level of writing in this sort of thing, though, that I don't think you find so much. Certainly not, I mean, I know they made the movie after the stage play, but you don't find it so much in movies anymore, certainly. The fact that you mix comedy with darkness, it's an out-and-out black comedy, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think you see stuff which is quite as sophisticated, that's the word I'm looking for, as this so much.
Well, you know, the film was made, it's much different than the stage show. They rewrote it for film, and so the play is really the source of it all. So we're hopeful that people come and see what the heck is Arsenic and Old Lace all about.
Who's in it with you? It's a good cast, I know.
Well, we've got Stephen Tompkinson and...
I'll tell you who else is in it. Stephen Tompkinson. You've forgotten the names because they're English names. That's why. Thelma. You don't get a lot of Thelmas in America. Thelma Barlow and Marcia Warren. Yeah. But now Thelma, of course, we know...
I hedged because there's about 12 people in the show, so I started to think, okay, all 12, here we go.
No, you know, they're not going to talk to you when you go there.
I wish you hadn't asked me that
he
question.
Came in here, come over to do theatre. And Stephen Tompkinson is a lovely fella. I've met him a few times.
Yeah,
He's
he
really
plays the part of Mortimer, yes.
A sweet guy. Now, how long are you guys all working together on this? What's the sort of run? Do you know how long you're doing, or is it kind of open-ended depending on how well it goes?
Well, I think we're going till June. Business is good now, so I'm quite sure we'll probably be here till June.
And do you do a matinee as well?
Yeah.
So
8 shows a week, matinee on Wednesday afternoon and Saturday afternoon.
And do you like being here in London?
Yeah.
What do you do when you're not on stage? What kind of things do you do? Do you have a partner? I'm not sure. You a gay man, a straight man? What are you doing? Are you involved? Are you attached? You're single? Are you looking for love?
I'm not seeing anyone at the moment, but
I thought you were married.
No.
You're not married?
No.
So when you say you're not seeing anyone, are you looking for someone?
No, I don't look.
What do you do for company then,
That's
right
something
now?
that just arises, I think.
Well, we could hang out.
You and I.
We could go, well, not in that way, but we could go out somewhere. Have you been to the Tate Gallery?
No, I haven't been
Well,
there
I'll
yet.
take you there.
Ah.
I've got a family pass for the Natural History Museum. You've been to the Natural History
Well,
Museum?
I'm only going if you have free passes.
Yeah, well, and I've got the pass, the special pass. You're allowed to go in the room when you make tea.
Oh, my goodness, tea and free passes? I can't pass that up.
I'm not joking now. I'm saying seriously. If you want to come out, I'll take you to the Natural
You
History
have to take the headphones off, though.
But no, I'm concerned about you.
You're concerned about
Well,
me?
because if you're in town on your own for a long time, that can't be nice.
Oh, but I'm very, very much at home with myself.
You're happy with your own company.
Yes, indeed.
That's quite rare. You know, most of us, we seek the noise and the distraction of others and other things. But have you been through some sort of therapy, or are you a practicing Buddhist of some sort? No, I don't ask in an unkind way.
No.
But normally people have been through a voyage of some sort of self-discovery before they arrive at the place where they're comfortable with
I
their
think
own
you
selves.
can discover yourself as you just walk along the streets of anywhere in the world.
But at the moment, you being the distinctive-looking fellow you are, and having been involved in one of the most popular television shows in the history of this incredible broadcasting discovery, presumably when you're out walking on your own, you do get people shouting, "Kramer!"
I wear a hat, and if they do come up to me, they're cordial enough. I give them an autograph, talk a little bit about the show, and I'm on my way. I'm very grateful that those people are about because, well, for instance, I wouldn't have been asked to do Arsenic and Old Lace if I didn't have the credibility of the show behind me. So,
And is that a show which, presumably, you don't want to dwell on the past anyway, but here's a show which was so important to people. I mean, it was such a kind of, it was a magnificent achievement, a fantastic piece of work. The quality of Seinfeld, the quality of the performances, really. I mean, I just was so enamoured of it, like so many people. And yet, it's gonna follow you around forever, presumably.
Indeed.
And now, what do? Do you try and distance yourself from that, or you have a way of,
No, I just
with
take parts along the way. I just keep working as an actor. I mean, it is a distinctive accomplishment in my life, but I don't think it holds me up from going on and doing other work.
And do people expect you when you walk in the room? They're hoping you're going to burst in the flamboyant way?
Sometimes, yeah.
And do the skit, because that was a remarkable piece of performance.
Well, I thank you very much.
I've tried copying it. I've fallen short.
Oh, yes. Well, it's all in the shoes.
But did you do that kind of, because Cosmo, I noticed the character Kramer, he developed very much so the series. Well, the whole show did. You look at the very early Seinfeld,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know.
You
What a
got it.
different program, a different experience
Yeah.
it was in season 1 to, say, season 8 or 9.
That's right. It evolved. That's indeed. You get more comfortable with the character, and the scripts start opening up storylines that help you see more to the continuity of the work.
There's a guy who claims to be the real Kramer, isn't there, in the States? There's a guy who claims that you... Did he claim that you based yourself on him, or that when Jerry Seinfeld was writing it, that he based the character on him?
Well, I think he based himself on his relationship to Larry David, our executive producer, who did some of the writing, but I really created through my own imagination the nature of the character.
Yeah, I imagine so. Larry David is currently on a show which has just begun to show on television.
HBO, yes. It's Curbing Your Enthusiasm.
Which I haven't seen yet. People have been saying good things about it.
It's interesting. It's good. And Larry, like we were talking earlier about self-discovery or being at one with his bones, so to speak, writes from himself. So it really is Larry David as Larry David.
May I ask you about Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld? One question here. I remember reading something somewhere that they both seemed obsessed with dental hygiene.
What?
Did you not encounter this?
Well, we all brush our teeth.
Well, you Americans more than anyone else.
Really?
But they seem to not
You
only...
brush your teeth every day,
I brush
don't
my
you?
teeth as
Well,
often as I need to. But
you get a checkup, you floss.
Here's the thing I read. Larry David doesn't just brush his teeth. He also flosses, but then uses a dental pick.
Uh-huh. Well, that's just to make sure there's no food in between your teeth during the day.
That's too much.
It's too much.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people just eat an apple. That'll keep the dentist away, they say.
You know what that means? He's got too much time on his hands.
He'll write about it, though. He'll make genius from it, believe me.
Yeah, there'll be a
it's
film.
the little things that count.
There'll be a film and a book and maybe a musical. I am looking forward to see. Do you like, when you're actually performing that, do you like working with other people on the stage in the way that you presumably...
Absolutely.
Creating something in front of an audience? That must be so different to television.
It's the root of the rose. It really is. It truly is. A story from beginning, middle, and end. We're up there for a little over 2 hours, and we make it happen. And it's live, and it's right in the moment. It's beautiful.
And as a professional, I'm assuming, and as professionals work with you, I'm assuming there's a level beneath which you never sink. There's a level of competence, there's a level of professionalism, essentially, which is what sums up the word. But what is it about a really good evening? What happens when you do an evening where you just all know that it's working? Where does that come from?
That's just a terrific magic. That's like, where do we come from? I mean, it really is. It's an interesting point, what that's about, the fullness of inspiration. A great grace comes upon you, and you just have a hell of a show.
Because you can't create that, can you? You can't factor that in and say, this is what we're going to do.
You work with all the technique, all the rehearsal, the experience, and then you have these moments where you just fly. It's that, to me, is a religion.
We've been doing this show for about 4 or 5 years. We've never had.
I don't believe it.
No, we've never had. We've never had a moment like that.
Oh,
sure,
we've never flown.
I've looked and sometimes I've seen bits appearing on the horizon. We've crushed them before they came.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're flying.
We're not really. We know that. We're coasting. But you know what I love about it is when you do see. Sometimes you see it in movies as well. It's almost like an alchemy.
Yes.
And you think that must be the hardest thing because everything has to go right.
Right, that's right.
And that must be the greatest feeling, I imagine.
Yeah, so casting people, you get all the people in there who know how to put together a production, and you keep your fingers crossed and see how it flies, yeah.
That and getting the money. They must be the best things, I imagine.
Well, I wasn't in this business for the money. It comes along, people say, you want to be an actor? You go, well, get a sleeping bag and and look for the street.
But you've done very nicely, I imagine.
I have, yes, indeed.
I'm delighted.
Thank you.
Well, no, I tell you why. Because sometimes you meet people who you think, I really have so enjoyed your work, and you've met it to me, and you find out they didn't put much by, and they didn't do well out of it, and that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's an awful thing. I wouldn't go so far as to help them out, but I would feel their pain.
Mm-hmm. But if they've done a great job as an artist, there's a great fulfillment in that.
And ultimately, when we're lying there making peace, and it's going to come to all of us, there's no point thinking it isn't. Sure, you're going to live on in syndication. You've got a longer life in that respect. But ultimately, we're all dying. Right now, you're dying. I'm dying. You are dying.
Yeah.
Everyone listening.
But you're also living.
You're living as well, but let's focus on the dying.
And you're dying, and you're living, and you're living.
But as your body, even since you came in 10 minutes ago, you're worse off, okay? You're not going to get that time back.
You may be closer to something coming.
But, none of us, we're not getting this time back. We've just killed some time here today. So, we're dying. And when you're lying there, you're trying to make... I forgot, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Just the next moment to come.
Anyway, let's play some music and we'll work it out.
All right.
We're here with Michael Richards. Who was that? I wasn't even listening.
It's I got it sent yesterday. It's not out to the 21st of April, but I thought it was fantastic. It's a new single from Edwin Collins, The Witch Queen of New Orleans.
It's nice. Well, I remember the track. We're with Michael Richards. Michael is currently in the West End in Arsenic and Old Lace at the Strand Theatre. I haven't seen it. I'm going to come and see it because with Stephen Tompkinson, who I think is a tremendous performance, that must be fun. That must be great fun for you to work, but it must be great for the audience as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a chemistry.
Is it a long play?
No, it's just a little over 2 hours.
With a break in the middle?
Yes, there is. There's one break. There's actually 2 breaks.
What do you guys do during the break?
Well, I just straighten out my makeup and get ready for the next scene.
And what does Stephen do? Because he likes to drop
No,
yeah, come on.
Of course not. How can he?
With
all the lines he has to remember.
He'll have the hip flask out. I saw him once. He was so drunk he fell over holding onto a pole in a busy hotel. I was as drunk. But
he held on to the pole, so he couldn't have been too drunk.
It made the loudest noise. It was on a marble floor in a hotel, and people came out to help us.
I tell you, what a way to get attention. The actor that he is, he's always looking for an audience.
He is a tremendous performer, and I'm sure it must be great on stage. We should go and see it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get
Well, you've got to see the play, of course.
Well, we'll come. Is that an invite?
We'll arrange it.
Here's the deal. We'll go and see the matinee with you. Afterwards, we'll all go to the Natural History Museum. Then that means you're giving us something, we're giving you something back.
I won't have the time. I can't get to the Natural History
You're not wheezing
Museum.
out of this.
What do I got, an hour and a half?
I don't care. You come out with us. What's wrong with you?
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with me. I've got to get set for the next show.
But you're going through life, you're missing out on a great opportunity here. Do you know how people would kill for that opportunity?
Okay. I'll go to the Natural History Museum with my makeup on.
Is that a promise? That's a promise. We're going to do that. If you see the scary guy, don't run. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Michael, it's really nice meeting you.
Well, thanks, man.
I'm I'm genuinely a fan of your work, obviously through Seinfeld, but I've always liked when I've seen you in movies. There's something about the guy, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. He's got a big face, but it works for him.
And Anthony Andrews sends his regards.
Anthony Andrews we had an earlier. We worked with him on some Dickens adaptation.
Yeah, that's right. We did David Copperfield.
He said it was great. He said it was a great experience and it was a good finished product.
Yeah, it was good. 4 hours of it. Woo.
Yeah, it's too long for me. Yeah. Michael, thank you.
The book will take you longer.
Yeah, no, we don't read books anymore, just magazines. Michael, it's lovely to meet you.
Well, thank you.
I thank you for coming in.
All right, we'll see you at Arsenic and Old Lace.
We will go to see you at the Strand Theatre.
Excellent.
Take care. Have a good weekend.